Hey, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Tasha. This is Tasha Pivots, and I'm so glad you're here. Today, we're going to debunk the top 6 reasons not to homeschool. All right, y'all. So I was reading an article who actually had 12 reasons of why not to homeschool. And I found that very interesting, but I chose to choose 6 of them to share where I feel that I can speak truth and call out what I don't believe is really true, that is factual of why not to homeschool, and to really just bring some hope and inspiration. So I have them listed here in my little handy dandy notepad, so you'll see me look down a couple of times, but I want to just talk about them. And this is not to put shame or guilt on anyone who may feel this way. It's to really just, maybe give a different perspective and just push you in a gentle push, a gentle love and hug to know that you can do this. So the first one is, I'm not the teacher type. Okay. I say that's a lie, because God equipped you to be their mother, and He chose you, handpicked you, gave you those gifts to raise them. And if you are cleaning them, teaching them how to potty train, talking to them, correcting them in a loving way, then you are already teaching them. And so just taking it a step further, where we're taking it into an educational realm, then my thing is that oftentimes we believe that we've got to come up with these extravagant things in order to teach our children. But our children often do not learn by anything that's coming out of this. It's everything about what we're doing. So how we interact with them, how we interact with our significant other, our spouses, how we interact with people in the store. Those are the things that our children are watching and listening to. And so therefore you are already teaching them. If you're constantly picking up a book instead of picking up your cell phone, you're teaching them. And it allows them to say, maybe I should be picking up a book instead of picking up my iPad. There's so many different ways that you are already a teacher. And so I think instead of looking at it as it's set apart from you, it is actually who you are. And so there's number 1. Number 2, I have no idea how to start. I need help making a plan. Okay, got you. So I have a whole playlist of homeschooling videos where I talk about homeschooling methods, what are the different ones, to what curriculums we've chosen. And I also know a really great group of women that are moms who are walking in this journey, that either have kids that are much older than mine or a little bit younger than mine. I'd love to share with you. If you want to find out more information, please write it in the description or look for my email me. I'd love to help you. We can make a plan. There is a way to start. And the start is you just saying, I can do this. I'm going to teach my children, and I'm going to teach them the best way I know how to. So there's that. Number 3, there is, how can I afford it? Isn't homeschool expensive? I feel like this is the most common retort or response to when they hear that you homeschool. It seems like it's for an elite group of women who their husbands make millions of dollars, and they're able to be at home with their children every day. And I believe that is a lie. Single income family home, two bedroom apartment, we make it work with 2 children. It is just about budgeting. And that may seem restricting to some. I can understand that. I love to shop, but I recognize that I don't buy my curriculums all at one time. I don't buy all of my supplies that I need for the year all at one time. I buy things gracefully, and I recognize when I should and shouldn't. It's the same as when we would go to do back to school and buying clothes for our children, or buying their supplies if you ever had your kids in public school. We know the best time to do stuff is when there's a sale. So we'll buy things, in July or, through the summer, or we'll wait till the holiday. That's the same with homeschool. If you are noticing a curriculum, or you really think that this is something you want to do the following year, wait towards the holidays, wait for percentages and sales to go on, and purchase. For me, I purchase a lot of our curriculum around March timeframe. That way I'm not too overwhelmed. I also think that you can find affordable options. If you want to buy these large, big box curriculum sets, then yes, you are going to feel overwhelmed by, a $500 to $800 figure that you're paying out because you're buying your entire curriculum at one time. And that doesn't even mean any of your supplies. That's literally just the curriculum. But there's so many options now. For our home, I choose to put my dollar into the homeschooling mamas that create these beautiful, well-written curriculums from things that they've studied with their children in the same heart posture that I have for my kids. And it's costing me $15. So, and it may be a unit study or it may be a full curriculum. It is your choice. So I think that is automatically like, put it aside. Yes, will you be spending some money? True. But we also spend money when we have our kids in public school and we buy all the supplies, and then we have to buy their clothes and shoes and all these things. It's still it's a budget. It's the same thing that you have to do. I say budget, and it's possible. If you'd like to know more on that, would love for me to do a video on all those things, leave that in the description. Let me know. The next one, number 4, I can't spend 7 hours each day teaching each one of my children. Okay, I get it. Even that overwhelms me. I had to breathe. I don't spend 7 hours, and I get it. I have a second grader and I have a toddler. But even for older kids, I recognize that the things that I know that I can do with both my children, with them at the table together, I do. So if you have an older child and they're in close enough age groups and we're all learning about Egypt, then we will do table time. Let's do table time where we're doing read alouds, we're doing some exploration, and then each one of you has your assignment for your level. Then you can do that. But overall, to this question, I don't spend that long. Yes, I believe that education and learning is a all day 24/7 thing. It is not a designated 8 hours, 5 hours, or 2 hours. I believe that there's books and things, the things that my kids watch on television, anything that they do, it's causing them to use their brains, whether it's cognitively or it's just natural with the toys that they play on the floor. If you have older kids, I still believe that, yes, there's a little bit longer period of time for schooling, but some of that is instruction and some of that is independent. So for me and a second grader, we do book time. Our book work is really about an hour to hour and a half. The rest of it is just activity, a little bit of instruction, and then they're left to their own devices. So I think that it's really what you make it versus you believing that it's a designated 7 hours a day because that's what you saw when your child was in a public system. Okay. Number 5, kids need a social life. This is another top one I hear a lot. And I think that we have a very skewed vision and visualization of what social life is. If you have multiple children, they are already being socialized with one another. If you have like mine, where there's about a 4.5 year gap, then I choose to build relationships with other moms that have children that are closer in my age. We will do play dates in a communal area, especially for the time and climate we're in. It'll be a backyard thing. It'll be a go to the park nature walk or a paint day where they can play amongst themselves. And get to know each other and talk. But I don't think that has to be because they're not in a system or a classroom setting where there's 30 kids at a time that are all in the same grade for them to have a social life. And I understand for those mamas who only have an only child, that don't have a sibling, that's when we have to build and cultivate those relationships, set those play dates, or if you're able to budget out for extracurricular activities, like my child's in Girl Scouts, if there's Boy Scouts, if there's a sport that you have your child in, that's the budget that you put towards that so that they can have some interaction with other children and communicate, but they're even socializing with you. So just wanted to encourage that. The next one is, let's see, I think this is number 6, our last one. I just need to focus on being a good mom. I'm already overwhelmed. I hear you. I really, really do. And I believe in having reset buttons, which I said I needed one because I felt a little overwhelmed, and even with the way things have been outside that I can't control, but in home, I took a minute. And if you're not able to, because you've got small babies and then you've got older kids, and it just seems like there's so many things to do in the day, and then to now say, oh, I'm going to add this on. But can I encourage you and give you some hope? I believe the best thing that has helped me at first, because I felt overwhelmed when I first had Josephine and I had Zoe, because I was like, how do I split my attention to both of them and my spouse and myself? Is I stopped looking at it as it was something that I was being taken away from me, and instead looking at it as I get the opportunity to be able to do. And so when I say that, is I get the opportunity to teach my kids, and it actually allows our day to have some structure. So my battery died and I had to shift my little area with you guys, but I just wanted to come on and continue with that thought I was at, where I will feel overwhelmed by, taking care of diapers, eating, cleaning, and always cleaning again, to doing so many things. And I can understand how that can feel so overwhelming. But I just want to encourage you that it has been like a weight off my shoulders to be able to homeschool and start to build out a structure that is a flexible schedule, where me and the kids can now have things to do. And they look forward to those things every day, and it's not to it being of like we're just sitting in front of the television being mindless and thoughtless all day, or with the toys and all those things. And so now there's a designated time for those things, and it makes the day run smoother. It gives me time to breathe and do the things that I need to. It allows them to have a bedtime so that I can then decompress, as well as spend time with my spouse. And so if you have any questions, if you feel some of these things and don't feel like you really got an answer, or your perspective has still been a little bit skewed when it comes to deciding whether homeschool's for you, please hit me up. I have all my details, my email, and all those things in the description box below. You can message me and we can chat. I'd love to engage with you and just love on you as much as I can. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a warm thumbs up, hit that red subscribe button, and until the next time, you have a wonderful day. Bye.